regardless whether you like it or you don't like it, you love it, you hate it, one thing for damn sure, you are gonna respect it.
Yo, welcome back to All the Gold Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Derrick J. That is
Coop. Hey, y'all. Episode 55 NXT review. It is Tuesday, y'all. Let's go ahead and do it.
Yes, sir. Now, this it's kind of strange right now. It's a weird appearance for you on a Tuesday.
It's like, why is he here?
Yeah, this feels strange. Nah,
he only goes to the main event shows.
What you say yesterday? He's just a part-timer.
He's a part-timer.
Nah, he ain't no part-timer. That's our boy Coop, man. Yeah, man, this is another, to me, it was like a filler episode.
Yeah, I feel your point.
Preparing, I wouldn't say it was a go-home, because the pay-per-view is like 2 weeks away, but
yeah, the next
battleground. But this is like a filler episode to me, man. A lot of talking points.
Definitely.
But let's get into it, though.
Let's do it. All
right, so NXT live at the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. They showed a recap of last week's Battle Royal, highlighting Miles Bourne's victory. And it was good that they try to push somebody else in the main event C on NXT right now. I like him, but we're going to get into it because I didn't know that he was partially deaf, and I kind of feel bad.
I didn't either.
Yeah. I didn't say I talked about him, but you know what I'm saying? I was kind of mocking his voice, and I do apologize. I thought he was like, I think I said something to the fact that he was like talking like Elmer Fudd or something like that, but my bad, yo. I hate to be insensitive because last week or the week before last, I said, I didn't know he sounded like Elmer Fudd, but
yeah, because they didn't lead with that, so I thought something was up. I was like, wait a minute, something ain't right.
I thought he was doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought this guy. I was like, first of all, I thought he like Randy Orton a little bit. Yes, I was like, who? Because I'm familiar with him at the moment, so bear with me. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, Mike, he talking. I was like, wait a minute. At first, I thought he had a slight list like Cody Rhodes got
right.
That's all right, cool. We work with it. Bet.
Exactly.
Cool.
So that's what
we work with it. Cool. That's what I thought.
Like,
that's what I thought was a list. That's what I thought at first. Yeah,
I was making fun. I was like, oh, I'm going to get you Tavy on heights, I thought he was talking like, beware, we quiet. It's like, I'm hunting for rabbit. That's what I'm saying. My bad. I want to apologize to Miles Bourne.
Again, disclaimer, we didn't know. So that's what
we didn't know. So that's what happened. You jumped the gun. See?
Yeah.
So Miles Bourne was alongside No Quarter Catch crew. They came to the ring together. Bourne says he has a disability. He started all his promo saying that he had a disability. Like I said, I apologize for that. And he says he's partially deaf and it affects his hearing and his speech. He said he heard the crowd going crazy and he doesn't want to be known as the deaf kid. He wants to be known by his ability, not his disability. So I was really, taken back. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I apologize because I did not know once again.
Yeah.
And that was really telling right there, you know what I'm saying, that they even give him a chance to shine, you know what I'm saying? But he has the look. Like I said, he looks like a baby Randy. And then the crowd's actually saying baby Randy.
Oh, that's what they're saying. That's what's up. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he looks just like Randy Orton almost.
Yeah.
Just a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So he said he will hear one thing, and that is his name as the new NXT champion. And that's when All Ego Ethan Page comes out, and he says enough is enough of the sentimental crap because he was playing on it like a true heel would.
Yeah.
And he said enough of that sentimental crap, and he started mocking Bourne, saying that, let me say it out loud for you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, come on.
That is so MJF or something. That's what MJF would do.
Right.
MJF would do something like that. He would do something like that. Like, it probably even worse, actually.
Yeah, it probably would be worse, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think MJF would have killed him in the ring. Like,
yeah, he would have. Yeah.
But Ego mocked him, and he says, you can't beat Oba. That's what he said. I'm like, come on, Ethan, dog. He's just off the
asshole. Yeah.
And Charlie Dempsey, he eggs on Bourne and saying basically, this is your chance to prove yourself or something like that, and you should go and put your title, the number one contendership on the line. And Ava comes out, and then she says Miles against All Ego Ethan Page for the number one contendership later on in the program.
Mm-hmm.
And she also said Charlie Dempsey will face the NXT champion Oba Femi right now. But before we even get to that match, what do you think about that whole segment?
I enjoyed the segment. To start off, I was like, okay, I didn't know, right? Because like again, I was like, he got cyclists. Okay, let me hear what he's saying. And then after he explained everything like that, for one, I thought about it's kind of cool because in a sense it kind of gives anybody hope that anybody can make it. Suppose somebody who has that dream to be a professional wrestler thinking like, just because I don't hear or whatever the case may be, now I got a shot because I see somebody else doing it. So that's a good way of doing it. So I like that. Ethan Page came out, true mega heel move right
asshole.
There. True asshole move. He was talking about this is not gonna be closed captions. He said that. I was like, damn, like you really playing the heel right now. So that was good. I was excited about them having a match together, like towards the end of the night. So I thought that was cool. I was wondering, back in my mind, I said, I hope they don't screw him up and give Ethan Page a shot. Just build him up all the way. And I was worried about that.
Right?
Because they had a high build up. The crowd was into it. People are into it, I'm sure. I was worried, like, dang, they might give him a shot instead. But we'll get to that later on tonight. So I definitely enjoyed the opening segment of this match.
And like you said, man, just with all that going on with Miles Bourne, and I was on the same wavelength he was on. I was like, please don't let this man, get the opportunity. And then he loses to Ethan Page right off the break. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for like new, fresh faces. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter if it's NXT, it don't matter if it's SmackDown. Raw. Yeah. I like to see new contenders and stuff like that because you got to keep the product fresh. And I was like, man, I was behind it last week. I was like, okay, something new. Please don't lose to Ethan Page. And I like Ethan Page. Like I said, everybody knows I talk about Ethan Page all the time. That's one of my favorite guys. But I just wanted to see Miles Bourne, at least try to attempt to make a good run. Yeah. With face Oba Femi. So we'll see, man. We'll see what goes on with that one later on in the program. But the first match up, it was Charlie Dempsey versus Oba Femi. The match starts off slow with Oba took control of the match at first. And during the commercial break, I think Charlie started getting the upper hand. They showed it on, they do the picture-in-picture. Yeah. Started to see Charlie a little bit getting the upper hand. And then Dempsey, after commercial break, looked like he was gaining most of the control of the match. And then he started working with a submission move on Oba's arm. And then he focused on Oba's shoulder and his elbow, I believe. And that was this big focal point that he was focusing on. He started to do a lot of holds, a lot of arm bar, like not like an arm bar, but arm drags. And I think he did attempt like a sub arm bar, if you want to call it like that, targeting in his arm area. And you saw Oba like he was in a little bit pain. I think he was just selling. He started to attack Oba's shoulder too. Just working the whole right side of Oba. And then Dempsey continued to, put on an impressive show. And then he started doing the German suplexes. But then Oba got up. He got the upper hand. Oba hits him with a flurry of European uppercuts in the corner. And then he caught him up running European uppercut. I say, God, that's like a train hitting you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I seen Oba Femi live at Vengeance Day.
Right, he was there. Right.
I didn't see him up close, but you can tell him coming down the ring. Yeah, that's a big ass dude, dog. Yeah, that's a big ass dude. Yeah. So he hit him with a running European uppercut, and I said, "Damn!" And then he caught him with the fall from grace power bomb, and I said, "Lord have mercy!" He caught him. That's like a sitting last ride almost. Like he gets you up. You know how Undertaker do the last ride? Yeah, like he lets you throw you up and then sits down with you. I'm like, damn.
I was like, it was over. It was a wrap after that.
It was a wrap. So what do you think about that whole match, Coop?
I like this match. I like the technical aspect of it as far as Charlie. He's working the shoulder, short arm scissors. He was doing that. Ramping his arm against the ring post. A lot of like technical, like old school style wrestling. That's how you normally see the old style, like Bret Hart or Chris Benoit or Dave Malenko or something like that, like back in the day, like, the technical aspect of wrestling. And then I like the part where Femi countered I think he had him in a short arm scissors, and he lifted them all the way up and they like slammed him. Like I'm like, dang, this dude is strong as hell. Good match, finishing move towards the end. I said, yeah, that's a wrap. Count the boy, y'all. But it was a good match. I enjoyed this match though. It was pretty good. I didn't know they were fighting though. Actually, I didn't know.
I didn't know they were fighting either. I think this was like a last minute, like
okay,
thrown together last minute.
Gotcha.
I will say this though, I was impressed with Charlie Dempsey, holding his own in the ring against Oba Femi.
Yeah.
You can tell that he's just like his dad, William Regal. Like he has a good technical.
That's base. His son.
Yeah, that's William Regal's son.
Oh, nice. That's
Charlie Dempsey is his son.
Funny. I had that thought. I was like, he reminded me of William Regal so much. I just said that, and I was just like, that's crazy. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So he has that good technical base. I was saying, how Regal got down in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
good foundation for the young star, and him just showing his bravado, or what would you say? I'm trying to find a better word, but him showing his technical skills against Oba Femi. He's going to be a future champion.
He is.
He's going to be a future champion soon. Don't know how soon, but he'll be. If it's not the NXT championship, definitely see him in a North American title picture. So I would like to see Charlie Dempsey get more of a heelish. Like how William Regal was. What's that run that William Regal did when he was like Lord Steven Regal in WC? Was it WCW or was it?
WCW.
I'm trying to think of the one when he was really like Regal was really into his heel character.
Heavy WCW. I think it was WCW. WE's more like a prickish, like little snobby heel.
Right. Yeah, I think it was WCW. He's Lord Steven Regal. So
yeah,
he got it in him. I think he can. I think he can really just play off what his father laid down, like the foundation his father laid down, and just elevate it even more. So yeah, man, I like Charlie Dempsey, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep. So moving on, let's see. Tatum Paxley was along backstage with Thea Hale, and they did a backstage segment. Carmen Petrovich was also with them.
Yeah.
And Tatum is just going nuts.
Okay.
Going nuts, basically. She was saying that her friends left her, but we all know Gigi Dolan and Shotzi Blackheart, they got released from the company last week.
Oh, gotcha.
So that was her little stable that they had. So
okay, gotcha.
Both members of that stable was going to let go. And she was just going nuts backstage and saying friends only betray you. And Thea and Carmen was just looking like real apprehensive, like, I don't even know I should touch that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let this crazy bitch go on. What's she doing?
Yeah, that's what it was. Gotcha, yeah.
I mean, call it me, but I'm just like,
yeah, that's what it seemed like they was saying. Like,
you know what I'm saying? She looked crazy, yo. Like she had the mascara running down her eyes. She was just throwing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but she already plays that crazy character anyway. So
Okay.
Yeah, but that was just crazy to see. But moving on, Ethan Page was backstage and Ricky Stinks. I said Ricky Stinks.
Ricky Stinks.
Ethan Page was backstage, and Ricky Saints was also. And then Ricky says Ethan is a heartless. He just called him heartless, and not only that, but he lives rent free in Ethan's head. But he had to ruin Miles' moment, and he liked to rain on people's parade. That's what Saint said. Page said he does get immense pleasure. And I was like, hey, yo.
Yeah.
He's acting immense pleasure.
Like, that burst in my comment yesterday. So
chill. Right. That was crazy.
I'm still
taking
getting
people's moment. And there's a championship match, and he needs to prepare for that so he can destroy Miles Bourne and bring balance to the NXT universe and wins the NXT championship. And Saint said good luck with that. What you think about that whole segment?
I like it. Do you think they'll run that back? That feud? You think it's over with? Or you think it's?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Okay,
I don't know. So you caught the ending, right? The last part of it.
I caught the last part. Yeah.
There's more to come with Ricky Saints and
Ain't over with. Gotcha.
Ain't over with.
Yeah.
Second match of the night. Let's move on to that one. Tony D'Angelo versus Wes Lee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Match started off a little slow. They were filming each other out, slow pace, and then they went back and forth before the commercial break. Not really to go off on the first half. Just basically filling each other out. But after the commercial break, Wes Lee seems to have the upper hand, and during the commercial break, after that, D'Angelo seems like he jumped out the ring and took out High Rise. That's the new name for Tyreek Evans and Igwe, Tyson and Igwe, whatever their names is, the two brothers.
Yeah,
I keep getting confused, man. They, I don't see them on TV that much, but I know it's Tyson and Tyreek.
Okay.
The last names I don't really care about. But anyway, their new name is called High Rise. It's like a playoff. What's the tag team back in the day? Not the Twin Towers.
Somebody.
What was the tag team Slick had? Remember Slick?
Yeah.
The Doctor of Style. What was the team with him and it was Akeem and what was it, Boss Man?
I think so. Yeah, name is escaping me.
God, I can't remember that name, yo.
I mean, I'm mad to remember. I'll remember afterwards, like, damn,
Yeah, it's not remember it, Jive.
Yeah.
Turkey. He's like, yeah, Jive, Turkey, man. The Boss Man coming down to Akeem doing all this shit.
Man, this character changed.
Right. Anyway, it's a play. I don't know if it's a playoff that team, but I just call them. Their new name is High Rise, whatever.
Okay.
And Wes Lee started to talk trash to D'Angelo. Says he lost his family and his Don ship. D'Angelo snapped. He grabbed him by the neck. Looked like he tried to choke slam. I think he actually did hit the choke slam. Excuse me. And D'Angelo hits the overhead belly to belly after he picked him up. Then he picks up more offense, and then he did a power slam to Wes Lee, but Wes kicks out. Wes Lee then goes for the cardiac kick, but D'Angelo actually caught him when he was doing the cardiac kick. He caught him for spear at the same time. I thought that was a pretty cool spot right there because it looked like he just just jugged his shoulder right into his chest.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. He ain't had to run or none of that crazy shit. He just stood there and just speared him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
right. So let's see what else I got. Hit the cardiac kick and D'Angelo spears him, and then Wes gets distracted by Stacks on. D'Angelo gets distracted by Stacks on the Titantron. Said he found Rizzo's safe house and all this stuff that's been leading up. I know you've been gone for a couple of weeks, but Rizzo basically he put her in a safe house. You know what I'm saying? Because Stacks is he turned on him at the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, I remember that. He
off Luca Crucifino. We don't know where he's at.
Damn.
So Luca was drawn out to the desert. I don't know if you remember the movie Casino, what they did with Joe Pesci, and at the end when Joe Pesci was lured, him and his brother was lured to the cornfield, and they beat the hell out of Pesci with the bats, and they buried him. You know what I'm saying? So basically, they played off that a little bit. They dragged him to a cornfield, and Stacks says something to him. I forgot what he said to him exactly, but anyway, the screen went black. We don't know what happened to Luca, basically.
Damn.
So Tony puts Rizzo into a safe house. Stack finds the safe house. He says, "You think I didn't know where the safe house was?" And then Tony leaves to the back. Now I'm gonna touch on some other stuff later on, but
okay, that's interesting. Okay, I like it. Right. Okay, I'm with it.
So what do you think about that whole match, though? For real, before I move on,
I like this whole match. For some reason, D'Angelo reminds me of an old school Roman Reigns, a powerhouse person. I'm trying to get paused today. So a powerhouse person, that's what it reminded me of. I enjoyed this match. There was one part, like you mentioned, Wes Lee was talking shit. He had the upper hand in the match. He started hit with a choke slam. Right. He's very athletic for his height and weight and everything like that. He was a guy who can go in the move and go in the ring. I'm sorry. But this match was super entertaining. I definitely enjoyed this match. I'm super invested to see what they're going to do. You know, what you said about that segment. So I'm playing catch up. So now that I know what's going on, okay, now I'm invested because I like this. I'm enjoying this right here.
I mean, I'm into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they're playing off the old mob movies. You know what I'm saying? In the early 90s. So, you know, I see what they're trying to do, and I'm liking it so far, but there's some funny shit that happened later on in those segments. Next up, another backstage segment. Like I said, it was a lot of talking tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Bubba Ray was shown on set, him and The Undertaker, and says that damn, did I skip something? Oh yeah, I did. No, I did.
It was a new tag team, right?
Vaquer was shown backstage with Tyra May Steele and Xena Sterling, the two contestants from LFG.
Right.
And those are the two finalists from LFG, and then basically saying that they will be facing off at the Battleground pay-per-view at Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. You know, and he was really hyping it up, saying that these two have an opportunity for the NXT contract, and only one of them will come out victorious. Izzy, Dame, and Nikita Lyons comes out, and Izzy says that good luck on lasting in our locker room. Crazy shit. And then Lash comes out and says she'll make them wish they were still on another season of LFG if they cross her path. So basically, they're just like, hyping them up and, trying to intimidate them, whatever. Undertaker looked at him and says, what did Undertaker say? He said, now you got something to prove, and go out there and show them, something like that. And I just think that these two women they were the two best women of NXT. Not NXT, excuse me, LFG. Yeah, I did like the girl Bailey Humphrey. Same last name as mine. But I liked her. She was strong, but she just didn't have enough experience. So I did like the other girl too. I can't remember her name. P Nasty. But I saw her I saw some of the contestants on NXT and within the last couple of weeks. So let me tell you something, Coop. LFG is a show, for people that's already in the performance center. Yep. But they're not getting pushed to NXT. But I think this is a contract for them to start with NXT. They're still going to be at the performance center, whoever it is. They're still going to be at the performance center. It's just that the two that they pick are going to be pushed on NXT. That's all it is. Yep. But I think agree with it. Yeah, I think it was a good segment overall. I think it was just to showcase them too. And I like LFG, so whatever.
Yeah, I like it too. You mentioned this a while ago because you brought it to my attention, and I remember saying, like, I think when we started our podcast, they had first started, right? Like episode 1 or 2. He's like, yeah, it's interesting, but it's kind of fixed. You know what I'm saying? It's already been said, like, it's not tough enough. I was like, dang, now I can't unsee that because you're so right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's already been picked who's going to win. It's already been picked, like, all that, so it's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? But I still like the show, and I still like the wrestlers, so I'm interested to see who's going to get that final spot for the men's and women's match for NXT. And the fact that you get to be a part of Madison Square Garden, that is tough, yo.
That is tough, right?
That's legendary right there, yo.
That's a whole lot of pressure too.
That's man. The memories in that building from man.
I'm trying to tell you, that's a lot of pressure with that one. You know,
it is. Dang.
Let me see. Something. See if I had one of the shot of that, but I don't think they have it yet. Nope, they didn't have it yet.
Okay.
But anyway, moving right along. This is the part that I told you. I said we'll go back to the Tony D. The Tony D and the Wes Lee match that was happening. So Tony D, we know that the match was finished, right? Right. And this is like maybe 10 minutes ago, right? He's finally shown 10 minutes ago running out that small ass performance center. He's going to a like, dude, the building ain't but so big, right? How you take you 10 minutes to get to the van and then go out and chase after stacks? I understand what they're trying to do, but come on, man, you're not fooling anything. I've seen people walk from that parking lot right to the stage in less than 30, maybe 45 seconds. Let's stop it.
I thought that was weird too, because they never do that. Like the person would run off, and the person would be like, "Okay, next episode." Right? They ran off like, "Oh wait, you got there kind of quick." Like, dang.
Right. Look.
How convenient.
You're not fooling me, man.
So you put it in a safe house, like right in the same city, NXT.
I'm gonna touch on that too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna touch on that too. Okay.
Let's see. Thought about that. That's stupid. Okay.
Yeah, man. It took him like 10 minutes to get to a stage. He's shown there holding his chest. I'm like, you've been holding your chest for like 10 minutes trying to get to this van on the outside. Stop playing with me, man. But anyway, let's get to the next match, man. I think it was the Miles Bourne and Ethan Page match.
Yeah.
Let's see. Make sure I
got that's
a
it.
little something right here. Trying to get these, you know how it is, man, on some of these screenshots we're trying to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Miles Bourne and Ethan Page. Got it right here. Boom.
All right.
So yeah, this was a great match, man. It was back and forth action. They was filling each other out, and both participants were reversing all their holds at first, man. I feel like they was reversing not chokeholds, but neck holds, and doing a lot of arm drags and stuff like that. You know, just getting a feel for each other. Ethan Page, right after the commercial break, hit a superplex from the top rope, and Miles Bourne hits a quick power slam, just like Randy Orton. And I was like, damn. Now, you don't want to mirror yourself exactly like Randy because you don't want to be in Randy's shadow. So
it's too much. It's like he did exactly the way how you
exactly like Randy, yo.
I was like, for a second, I was like, damn, like if I had just turned the TV on, and he did that. I'm like, oh, Randy's on NXT because he did that just like Randy Orton. I was
that
wow.
Quick snap, that snap power slam.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty telling right there. I was like, yo, he does look like Randy though, just a younger version of Randy, a little smaller, a little shorter, but yeah. So yeah, he hits the snap suplex, and then he hit a kick up. This is Miles Bourne I'm talking about, and then he splashed Paige in the corner. Paige counters Bourne's drop kick, and Bourne goes for Bourne goes for another power slam, and Paige holds the ropes, and then let's say Paige holds the ropes. The hell I wrote down. Oh, yeah, Paige hold the rope. Okay, so he held the rope down. He got caught in the rope, whatever. Then Paige hits Twisted Grit. That's like I guess his version of the Twist of Fate.
Okay.
And Bourne counters that though, and then Paige goes for the Eagle's Edge, and Bourne counters that, and then Bourne goes for a quick roll up. And it was like a short match. It wasn't really a long match, man. This match was probably like no more than 8 minutes. Maybe 8 minutes top, man. Maybe 8 minutes, quick. 30 seconds. It wasn't a long match, man.
Yeah.
I guess this is something, get him acclimated, probably to get the audience behind him. You pick a profile character like Ethan Page, the profile to showcase yourself. That way the audience get behind you to make sure you are a credible threat to Oba Femi. I see what they're trying to do there.
That makes sense. I got you.
Right.
I can see that.
Just to get him, get the audience acclimated to him.
Yeah.
Because he always been a side character for the longest.
Yeah. Okay.
So I see what they try to do there. I think that, like I said, it's a good showing for Miles, but I also think that Ethan was used also because he's Ethan Page. He's a former NXT champion. So you had to use someone to, like I said, showcase his abilities and make sure he's a credible threat to Oba Femi. Even though we know Oba is going to destroy him.
Yeah.
Because it's no damn way in the world you beating Oba Femi.
No,
maybe you will. I don't know, but I don't think that's the case. What you think about that whole match, Coop?
It's one of those things where, like, when he first came out, this is my honest blind reaction before he even said anything on the mic. Right. I was like, is he a legit threat for his title? Because I don't see it. This is my honest thinking when I saw him come out to the ring before he even got on the microphone. To your point, I definitely understand where you come from, and I just thought about that because remember with me with that mindset, I mean, a lot of fans who maybe not know who he is or kind of just don't really watch as much, I guess.
Right.
So thinking the same thing. So now you got Ethan Page, who's more well known at the moment. So now he gets the spotlight with him. He beats him, puts him over it, and makes him more of a legit threat for the title. Now, will he win? I definitely agree. I don't think he'll win. Would it be a good look for him to be in the match with world champion? Hell yes, a good look for him. This is a good opportunity for him. I think it'd be a good match. I don't think he'll win. I definitely enjoyed this match. The match was really quick. There's one point that he blocked a drop kick. I thought that was crazy. Something different,
Right.
Fast-paced match. I think they're really going to try to make him a strong character just to get into the main event. So it's going to be interesting to see like where they're going to go from here because they got next week will be the go home show. So they're really probably going to turn it up after this next week.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even though even though I did that, we got to go backwards a little bit because I'm looking at my notes and I knew I had skipped a page, yo.
All right, where we at? Let's see.
Yeah, so we got to go backwards a little bit. My bad, audience. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the Stephanie
whole damn segment and a half, yo.
The Stephanie promo.
Right.
Got you. Yeah. Damn.
So
okay.
After the Ethan Page promo that we talked about with him and not after Ethan Page, excuse me, after Tony D'Angelo match. OTM had a promo. I was like, whatever, okay. Not even gonna touch on that. But then that's when NXT champion Stephanie Vaquer and Jordynne Grace and Fatal Influence had their promo in the ring. And like I was talking about with Stephanie, they should just let Stephanie speak. Just let her speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, she's not ready to speak English right now. I mean, she's learning it, you know.
Yeah, she is. She said that too. She said that
right,
the last time she
it, and I just don't think that she was ready all the way. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you know what I'm saying, like to be throwing full promos in English, like give her a shot to learn English first before you guys jump out there and try to make her speak English. But anyway,
let
me see if I can add this to the stage. The only shot I got of her anyway. So Stephanie was out and she basically was cutting the promo. Jordynne Grace came out and then Fatal Influence came out and then Jordynne Grace interrupt them because Fatal Influence is talking just stupid shit. And Fallon cuts a promo. JC interrupts her. And then Jordynne basically said that she's here to protect her investment with Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie says, I'm not no one's investment, basically. Yeah. And then Stephanie says, not Stephanie, but Fallon and JC says they've been on holding the division down before those two got there. I'm like, whatever. Y'all wasn't holding shit down. I'm sorry. Y'all only had one small run with the North American title with Fallon handling. That was only for like 2 months. Let's stop. And then Jordynne says she'll see Stephanie at Battleground. And then I guess the tag match was set with them two versus Fatal Influence later on in the show. And what do you think about that whole segment, Coop?
I didn't really like this segment, to be honest. I see your point about Stephanie let her talk in Spanish because I feel like she's trying to learn English and anything like that. You don't want her as a world champion to appear less than. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that she can't go on the mic; she's actually learning the English language. So it doesn't take away from her as a character, her on the mic, anything like that. I thought Fatal Influence in the ring in reaction was super weird to me.
Yeah, that was weird, yo.
I said, "Are y'all a team and y'all going arguing with each other?" It was just weird. They kept like, I thought this was weird. Like to me, it was so weird and awkward. Like this whole segment, I was like, maybe they trying to have Fatal Influence in the ring just because they felt like she couldn't speak English and go back and forth with them. Maybe, I don't know, but I was like, damn, this shit is weird. I was like, I wanted it to end so bad, but did they make up for it later on? Hell yeah, in that match, hell yeah,
right. But the match was awesome.
The match was fire, yo. But this promo. Water.
The promo, I wasn't feeling the promo because like you were saying that it was just so confusing with them two going at it, and they're supposed to be a tag team. I understand that there's kind of friction between them two, but it was just confusing. Like they was doing their own thing within the promo, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like Jordynne was trying to bring it in, and I understand Jordynne's plight. You know what I'm saying? Where she's coming from because she's trying to on the NXT championship. Talk to Stephanie. You're already dealing with a language barrier a little bit. And then you got them two going off. I'm like, what is going on?
It's kind of chaotic. Yeah,
it was chaotic. But like I said, the match at the end was fire. Not taking away for nothing from the ladies. I think they did all four of them put on a good show. I just didn't understand the promo. Also, I want to touch on this too. Going back to Stephanie with the English thing, the reason why she said for herself she's not ready to go to the main roster, even though they teased her twice on the main roster on Raw so far. She said she wants to learn English, you know what I'm saying? So she'll be able to cut promos in the future.
Gotcha.
But my thing is, and me and my wife is talking about the same thing, let her talk in her native tongue. Like you have Asuka, you have Io, they talk in Japanese and using subtitles. Do the same thing for Stephanie Vaquer. It's not like,
To your point. Yeah.
Spanish is like the second language in America right now. So like, come on now, let's let her be comfortable, man.
Right.
You're taking away from her and making it look awkward for her,
that's how it came off, unfortunately. It's like, damn,
Right.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you now. It came off like that, and I felt kind of bad for her, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyway, let's move on, yo. I'm trying to catch up. So I was telling you about the no quarter catch crew, right?
Yeah.
And mind you, Charlie Dempsey was the first match, right?
Right.
Now this is 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right. So he's being helped to the back by Tavion Heights and Ren Sinclair, and he's out of breath holding his chest. I'm like, bro, that match was 20 minutes ago. What are you still doing out of breath? You know what I'm saying? They both, where are they walking you to at, sir?
I didn't understand who that was.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
I thought that was weird.
Man, y'all playing with my intelligence, yo.
That's what it was, yo. I didn't understand what they were doing. That right. I ain't saying what they were doing. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Ren was holding him up. And Tavion Heights is holding him up. He's like this.
He probably still out of breath right now.
Probably so. But then Miles Bourne was like, nah, I got this. You know what I'm saying? He don't need them outside to the ring, so they let him do this by himself. Now we can catch up back up. There was just
here we go. Bet.
So we already talked about Bubba Ray and the Undertaker with the LFG girls, and we talked about Tony D run out of the building to the van. He got into like what he said. He got into a Dodge minivan. Oh yeah. So we don't talk about this. This is what I do have to catch up on with Tony D. So remember I told you he left the Performance Center, right? Like 10 minutes after this match, right?
Yeah.
And he holding his chest and stuff, like trying to get into the ring. And like he jumped into this Dodge minivan and then he drives off to this safe house that's probably like 10 minutes down the road in some neighborhood in Florida, in Orlando. I don't know what was going on, but like it was just weird, yo. Like, come on, man.
That was crazy, yo. I was like, what the hell? He got there quick, yo.
Right. It was just some weird stuff going on tonight, man. We already talked about Ethan Page with Miles Bourne. All right, so now we're definitely caught up now. So my bad, audience. I do apologize. I had one of my pages mixed up, but here we go.
It's all good.
It's all good, man. We still brand new. Mm-hmm. So so Sean Legacy, and I really like this guy right here. I like this kid. Sean Legacy, he's from WWE ID system, but now he's primarily on Evolve. And he had a great showing at the Battle Royal last week.
Okay.
He really put on a show at the Battle Royal, and I was really impressed with him. I was like, damn, this guy can really go. And then I saw just one of his clips from his match at Evolve, the new show on WWE on TV, free on TV.
Yeah.
And he put on a nice little clinic on there too. So I was kind of interested. But anyway, getting to the point, he called out Javon Evans, and he says he's not an NXT superstar yet, but he would love to face Evans in the near future. So I was a little hyped for that because I would like to see them go at it because they have almost a similar style. They're like high flyers and they move so quick in the ring. So damn, I got the hiccups. What do you think about that? And you think that would be a good match?
From what you're saying, I haven't seen him fight, but I've seen Javon Evans fight, and I'm super invested in this match. I remember, was it Stand and Deliver? How he just stole the show. I think he stole the show with that whole match. So with that being said, and they fight next week, correct? Right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I can't wait. I want to see this. I cannot wait. I definitely want to see this.
I believe so. I think nope. Oh yeah, they do fight next week. It's
cool.
Triple threat. A triple threat. Javon Evans, and now this is when we get to. I'm gonna tell you about the triple threat. So Javon Evans, Ashanti the Adonis was backstage, and Adonis was trying to downplay the indie scene. But Evans says the indies have dogs on the indie scene that you haven't even heard of. So he said that Adonis was like, you better chill with what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? Like watch your mouth, basically. And Adonis was like, he wanted to challenge him to show him, and then Ricky Saints overheard them talking backstage, and he's like, okay, cool. I like to see that happen between you two, and maybe I'll talk to Evans. One of you guys can face not face him yet, but I'll see one of you guys have the battleground. So I thought that was telling right there.
Let's go.
I see they trying to get Ashanti involved more now. I started seeing him a lot on TV, especially getting them little segments now here and there. But this might be a banger of a triple threat right here because you got 3 high flyers that really can go.
Ooh,
like people don't understand that Ashanti the Adonis can really go in the ring too. So
okay.
I'm looking forward to especially this is going to be a banger. I'm looking forward to NXT next week. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. I hope this is like the main event because I'm down. I need to see this.
I'm down for this one.
I can't wait.
So Tony D was shown backstage. Well, not backstage. Tony D was shown jumping out of the minivan.
What the fuck?
He was shown jumping out of the minivan, trying to get to the safe house to save Rizzo. But then Stacks caught him off guard and started attacking him and ambushed him before he got to the safe house up the driveway. And Stacks said he'll put an end to the D'Angelo family once and for all at Battleground. So Now I'm really investing in this because I want to see where this goes. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that was just crazy, man. That whole segment was crazy, man.
Do you run in the dark outside without looking?
Yeah, they showing like the camera run up to this ranch house, and then he caught him, boom, and knocked him down.
Yeah, obviously you ain't grew up in the hood, so
no, I ain't grew up in the hood.
That's good 1-on-1. What you doing, bro?
Right. So let's see. Tatum Paxley, right? So Tatum Paxley versus Thea Hale was the next match. I think this is the third match actually, and this is a short match too. Tatum Paxley had the upper hand the whole match, and then she did hit this gut. It was like she was going for a gut wrench flapjack, I guess if you want to call it that.
A 5-for-5-51.
Yeah, when she had her Thea Hale up in the air, she was dropping her, and then she caught her with a kick to the chest. I thought that was like, I didn't know if that was planned or not, but Thea looked like she caught all that to the chest. So yeah. So I was like, okay, and then Thea kind of flipped it a little bit, got the upper hand on Paxley, and started working Paxley's arm, and then she started picking up more offense. Thea Hale locks in the Kimura lock, and Paxley grabbed the ropes. Then Paxley got up out of that. Then she got to the ropes again, and then she pulled on the ropes. Thea rolled back, then grabbed her as she rolled forward. She grabbed her and put her in another Kimura lock. But after that, Paxley snapped and then tried to gouge the girl's eyes out.
Oh my gosh, that was insane.
Yeah, she was putting her thumb in her eyes. Like I was like, oh my god, yo. Like,
I thought she was gonna be. I'd be hanging like this after that match.
Yeah. So it was just basically Thea Hale won by disqualification, basically. Ref called her back. He was like, yo, you gotta get the fuck up off her because you're crazy. You're nuts. So you're nuts.
I like
That's
this
what
match.
I gotta say about that match.
I agree. It was a weird match. Thea interest is crazy. She run out like she drank too much of the goddamn Mountain Dew. But
she be full of the Mountain Dew when she come up that drink.
Like, oh my god,
Baja Blast.
Baja
you know that's the official drink. That's the official drink of
all the Gold podcasts.
You get it. I ain't gonna say it. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
And that was just a weird ass match. So Jada Parker's backstage and she says she's not listening to Kalani and Zarya bitch and walks off. Kalani says Zarya seems to be jealous of Sol Ruka for catching her last. She said Zarya's jealous of Sol from catching her last week from falling to the barricade. And then she challenges Zarya to a match. Winner faces Sol Ruka for the NXT Women's North American Championship. I don't know about this dynamic between Zarya and Sol Ruka, which is one of my favorite female wrestlers on it. This is a weird dynamic, kind of
off a little bit.
Trying to be politically correct, but it's kind of like a weird release. Let's just put it like this.
Okay,
lose my voice. It's kind of like a romantic relationship, but it's not. I don't know what it is, but they kind of be gazing each other's eyes and all this stuff they be doing on social media. I'm like, okay, but you get what I'm trying to say. But I'm not.
I get you.
I'm not trying to get banned, shadow banned, or nothing like that. You know, the identity on their computers quick. Oh my god.
Unsubscribe. Yeah. You go back to 200 followers.
Yeah.
Unsubscribe.
200 followers. You know, where's he at? They hit 1,000. Sitting in their mom's basement with their underwear on, eating Cheetos and rubbing Cheetos on the couch. That's crazy.
Okay. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, Charles Barkley putting soap in their ass and shit like that. Yeah. Anyway, what do you think about that whole segment?
I'm confused. I gotta see more of it. So I don't have an opinion on it yet. I gotta see more of it. So
yeah,
I gotta see what
you've been gone. You've been gone.
I gotta see more of it. So
on Tuesday, so
crazy work schedule. So I gotta see more of it. So
yeah. So I forgot. I'm talking about like you've been up to date. So basically, what's happening is Zarya, ever since Sol won the North American Championship, Zarya has been side eyeing her, and you know, just looking at her differently. But they're still friends with it. She's looking at her differently. I know that she wants a shot at the North American Championship.
Okay.
Kalani wants a shot again, but it's just a weird dynamic between them two, and they're eventually going to split, but I don't know how.
Okay.
But I think maybe after this match, you might start seeing a little crumble in their relationship.
Do you feel like they're teasing like a turn with them two?
Oh yeah, for sure. Zarya's doing a turn on her, man. Come on, man.
Okay,
you know it's going to happen.
Okay.
You're a wrestling historian. You know about that. You know how the jealous friend gets.
The side look at the belts. It's as soon as you get all the gold. Hey, pun intended. As soon as you
don't even have to have the gold. You remember Sean and Marty kicking through the barbershop window?
Yeah.
What else? Who else is another turn?
You know, he actually threw him through the barbershop window. It wasn't a kick.
Yeah, he picked him up. He super kicked him, picked him up, and threw him through the glass.
Okay, all that time years ago, I thought he kicked him through that.
Yeah, that's what they call that.
Mandela effect.
Yeah, Mandela effect.
I was like, what?
He kicked him, picked him up, threw him to the barbershop window. I remember that. I remember it plain as day now.
Yeah,
looking at Superstars,
dang,
2-3 decades ago.
Dang, I'm taking you back on that one, yo.
That's crazy, yo.
Dang,
the whole joint kick. Looked at him, brought him back. Mm-hmm. Sweet chin music, picked his ass up. You can't look at him like, what the hell?
He been the same since.
Right, haven't been the same since, man. Speaking of Marty Jannetty, this is off topic, yo. I seen him it was on some social media. I forgot which social media it was. It was a clip of Marty Jannetty. Uh-huh. That man he has not aged right, dog. Like I know all the surgeries and stuff that he needs for his body. But man, he was walking like he he had metal rods in his leg or something. He was just walking like a robot. He was like this.
Dang.
Limping through I was like, damn, I felt bad for him, yo.
Dang, that sucks.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah.
He's like an old gym teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how for you young fans, that's how our gym teachers look.
Our gym teachers look terrible back in the day.
Our teachers look terrible. I don't know what the hell happened with y'all generation. Everybody's gonna be 24, you know.
Our gym teachers was terrible, man. Our teachers, period, was terrible. These teachers now, good Lord. These teachers now, boy, you get in trouble, boy.
It's crazy. I
was a player. I would have got in trouble. I would have got in trouble out there, man. Anyway, let's get back on topic. Let's see. TNA contract signing, man.
Oh, this is
pretty telling, man. Pretty telling, right? TNA contract signing with Joe Hendry, Ava, and your boy Trick Williams, Trick Willie. That's what they call him. And it was pretty interesting. Basically, a lot of trash talk back and forth. I'm going to touch on some key points right here. Here go a picture of Joe Hendry right here with the TNA Championship. I wish I had a picture of The Rock's daughter, Ava, and Trick Williams, but I don't because they only give me limited stuff. So anyway, the TNA contract signing, Joe Hendry and Trick Williams. Trick says that Joe should have stayed in his sweet spot, and he's going to take the TNA Championship from him. And Joe basically said Trick has just been out of touch, and he's been bitching and complaining lately for the last couple of weeks, maybe the last couple of months. They both jump up, and Ava threatens to call security in. Like, security's really going to make a difference. And like, Ava, sit down. You're making obsolete threats right now. Chill out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Chill out. And they both jump up. Like I said, she said she'll threaten to call security. Trick says he's bigger than NXT. He's bigger than TNA. And hell, he's bigger than both of them combined. And Trick now says he's Hollywood, basically. And Joe said he main evented 2 Stand & Delivers. And he has no path back to the NXT Gold or the TNA Gold. And what's going to be next for Trick Williams after it's all said and done.
That was cool.
Right. Bro. And he said, what's going to happen when Trick falls back down to earth? Joe signed the contract Trick signed the contract first, give it to Ava. Ava passes it to Joe. Joe signed the contract, then he walks out the room. So I really like this is the contract signing I can get with. Just the intimate setting, the way the lights are set up is like dim. I like this contract signing right here. I don't know why something about this contract signing was like really professional to me. Like I like the intimate setting instead of having it in front of the WWE crowd. You know what I'm saying? Now usually they do it in the crowd.
They always do it in the crowd.
Cool right here. So I really like this segment. What you think about this?
I love this. I like seeing Joe Hendry serious mode. Mm-hmm. You know, for those of you who don't watch it on a regular basis, and people like me who are just getting used to him, you see the quick song, he comes out smiling and everything, but he can actually go in the ring. He can actually get serious where he need to be. He's the part where he said about your star crashing down. I felt like that was a nice jab at Trick Williams. Yeah, and he's serious. I definitely think that Joe Hendry is going to win this match. I do like the dynamic of Trick Williams playing a heel. And I like the fact that when he said what he said, kind of gave Trick Williams some kind of false confidence. So you could see his face change up a little bit and just get pissed off. And I do feel like he's going to crash out just because he said that. Like next week, yeah, he might try to pack him up, before the before the PLE starts. So I can't wait for this match. NXT has been like the best show of the week. It's still, but I can't wait for this match. I can't wait.
And yeah, just to touch on what you said about NXT being on fire right now. I mean, I just think that it's a well produced show.
Yeah,
for what it is, and they're working with names that people are not familiar with. But I think NXT right now is peaking right now. I just think they have a great women's division. I think they have they can still interject more talent in the men's world championship picture, the NXT championship picture, and the North American title. But they're doing good with that. Nothing against them. I think NXT is one hell of a show. I look forward to watching every Tuesday now.
I'm with you on that because watching NXT, it doesn't feel like a chore, like to watch it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like, damn, I got to watch this show. Like I feel like I get excited because there's always a new face that I'm learning about.
Right.
There's always somebody new that I'm learning about. Like right after I got familiar with Stephanie Vaquer, I'm like, okay, cool. Like this. Then Jada Parker, cool. And I was
Miss Parker, dog.
Yo, my wife was dying laughing at Booker T tonight, yo. I said, just watch. On cue. If she did that one move, he went crazy.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that because we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, you bet.
Booker was wilding, yo.
Yeah.
But go ahead, finish your statement.
Oh no, that was all I had. But that was all I had. Like I enjoy it. Yes.
Briggs was shown backstage alongside Hank and Tank, and Briggs was bummed out about Inamura leaving, going back to Japan. Sean Spears comes out and says he's a cancer to his tag team partner, his best friend. And Briggs wasn't. Sean said he wasn't talking about Inamura. He's talking about what's the boy? Not Briggs, but what's the curly head one? Brooks Jensen. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of his name at first. That's how obsolete he is to me. Brooks Jensen. And then he says he is in no mood. This is coming from Briggs. He says he's not in the mood. Hank and Tank says it's not the time to Sean Spears. Briggs says he does have an idea, and then Spears did this sachet. It was real sweet looking. He said, "Okay," and then walked away. He did some sachet out the room. I said, "Hey, yo, come on, man!
Go ahead, stop what you're doing, bro."
Man. He sashayed out the room. I was like,
"Yeah,
that's not it, brother. That's not it."
Yeah, that's not it, my boy.
Yeah, that's not it. Not at all. The way he sashayed out there, he did. Okay, and then walked off. I was like, "Yo, what's going on, man?" Sound like gold dust a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Fatal Inf, here goes the match of the night, the final match. Yes, this is the final match.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make sure I had because I had so many notes.
Yeah.
Fatal Influence versus Jordynne Grace and Stephanie Vaquer. This was a great match, man. It was a good match. Like you said, it was a hard-hitting match. It was aggressive tag by Jordynne Grace to start the match, and then Stephanie did a crossbody onto Fallon Henley.
Yes.
To start the match. I thought that she was going to do something to Grace because of the aggressive tag, but she actually jumped over Grace and hit a crossbody.
Yeah.
Like I said, Stephanie Vaquer, man, look at her in the ring. She's awesome to watch in the ring.
Yeah.
She tried to walk the ropes and tried to do some move where she bounced off the second rope, came up, and I thought she was going to hit it, but then Fallon did something to the ropes and made her lose her balance, and then kicked her, and then she hurt the I'm trying to be politically correct because usually for guys who like hit the balls or whatever, the nut. You can't even say that on YouTube. But anyway, hit the lower region.
Yeah.
And, she was out from there, and then let's get into another part that everybody waiting for. Steph tried to hit the Devil's Kiss, and the crowd was going crazy, but she didn't do it. And Vic Joseph was like, Vic Joseph told us the book. He said, "You're about to rise up, right?" And I was like,
"Yeah, that was nasty.
That was nasty work, yo. Like, what are you guys talking about?
You gonna tell a grown man want to rise up?
Yeah, Vic Joseph, man, pack his ass up. He gets the pack up of the night, yo.
Pack up of the night, yeah.
Put him in the box, put some tape on him, mail him to Abu Dhabi. He got to go, yo.
Yeah, he got out of here, yo.
That was crazy work, yo. Vic Joseph, nasty work. Stephanie goes for the tag, but JC Jane pulled Jordynne Grace down from the apron. And I think that's when they cut to commercial. One of the commercial. Nope, I take that back. Fallon hits the crossbody outside from the middle of the turnbuckle, and then Grace took out Grace and Vaquer before the commercial break. After the commercial break, JC Jane she gained the upper hand on Stephanie Vaquer. Grace enters the ring, hit German suplexes to fatal influence both Fallon Henley and JC Jane. She hit a forearm to Fallon Henry. Jordynne Grace hit a forearm to Fallon Henry. JC breaks up the pin. JC hits a vicious pump kick to Stephanie. This is the sequence when they all was in the ring. Yeah. So she hit the pump kick to Stephanie. She kicked Jordynne Grace in the shin, and then Fallon, when she kicked her in the shin, Fallon snapped her, did a snap DDT, which I know you saw it. It was really vicious. Yeah. Hit her right on top of her head, spiked her. I was like, damn. Yeah. It was so fast. Like, it was like, that was crazy. Anyway. Caught her with the spike inverted DDT, and Grace took the bullet for Vaquer and pushed Stephanie out the ring. After that, Grace went on the offensive. She wins with the beast mode to JC Jane. Vaquer and Grace had a stare down in the ring, and then they cut backstage to Ricky Saints being knocked out by Ethan Page. And
I missed that part.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. Ethan Page. Remember you said that is there something going on with Ethan Page and Ricky Saints? Yeah, something going on. Because backstage,
shoot. Yeah, I was getting setting up. That's what it was. I was setting up.
Yeah.
Dang.
Backstage, Ethan Page was standing over Ricky Saints by the garage door, the metal door, and just standing over him and said something to him. I didn't catch what he said, but he said something to him and attacked him. And then after that, they cut back to Stephanie and Jordynne Grace in the ring.
Well, that's my question from earlier. Got you.
Yeah, so they did a stare down with each other, Stephanie and Jordynne.
Yeah,
and she raised her hand and stuff like that. But they're building up for a match between them two. Here's the picture. I finally found it because they finally let me get the picture. But
that's a good one.
Yeah, man,
that's a good one.
That's NXT for you, man. In a nutshell.
Yes.
Right.
I can't wait for
overall the show, Coop.
Overall, it was a good show. My two highlights were the last match. And the first match. Last match and the first match was my two highlights. The funniest stuff of the night was Tony D'Angelo running to the house in 5 minutes. So that was entertaining.
That was crazy.
We got a lot of build up for next match. They got a triple threat match coming up. That's going to be exciting. You got the women's match for the NXT title. That's going to be tight. Man, Battleground's going to be killer. I can't wait to watch Battleground. I'm probably low key looking forward towards that in Saturday main event. To be honest, at the moment, so I can't wait.
Yeah. So, and to me, I think that this was a great. I mean, I won't say it's a great NXT. It was a solid NXT. You know what I'm saying? As far as we only had 4 matches, I believe. 4 matches. Yeah. A lot of talking, a lot of backstage segments, but it is what it is. NXT. You know what I'm saying? I'm not complaining. And it was just good overall, man. To me, it was solid. So good. I do got some. You want to talk about some wrestling news real quick?
Let's do that.
Yeah, because we can talk about some tomorrow. But I got a couple topics I want to get off. Probably save some for tomorrow too as well. But yesterday, we talked about Sabu, right? Talked about Sabu and the death of Sabu. Rest in peace, Sabu.
Mm-hmm.
What has come out to my attention that a lot of people are blaming Joey Janela for, Sabu's death, basically.
Really?
And I don't know the situation. I'm not going to comment saying, was it right or wrong for him to even be wrestling because he wrestled the event. He said they gave him some type of drug called, I've never even heard of this drug. It's called Kratom. This is a quote coming from, I think it's Janela. Said, we didn't give him Kratom. His team did. It's not illegal, and 85% of pro wrestlers use it, especially on TV. So, fuck you. This is coming from...
that's what he said. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
This is coming from Joey Janela. So, Sabu was a grown man. He did what he had to do. I took care of him the best way I could. The goal was to give him one last payday in a final spotlight. That night wasn't about me. It was about Sabu. I wouldn't change a thing. His friends and family were thrilled with what we did. Again, fuck you. and kiss my ass. People use kratom to get off pills. I didn't give him anything. I didn't shoot him up or spike his drink. I'm truly devastated. Kratom, whatever it's called, helped him stay off other substances. He loved weed and kratom. His body was wrecked from over 40 years of wrestling. Janela, and this is quotes that he said. Janela also clarified that the interview took place just 2 days after the match, and that some parts like Sabu being knocked out were exaggerated to enhance the story. He tweeted, and mind you, before I even go, this is coming from this is by Ryan Clark from eWrestling News. Not sure how credible this is, but I'm just reading what they say. And then we go on it. Says, I didn't know what happened weeks later. I was trying to add Sabu's lore. I was trying to add to his lore. He was my idol and my friend. I just wanted to give him and his fans one last great spectacle. I'm sorry for lashing out, but your tweet caused a snowball effect with people saying I'm partially responsible for my friend's death. He was fine afterward. He signed at WrestleCon the next day and did several appearances. I don't know the cause of death, but I'm glad he went out on top. So that's coming from quote unquote Joey Janela.
Wow.
So saying that and all that stuff like that, man, like I said, you know, he's been wrestling the hardcore style for years. I don't know exactly. I don't know Sabu personally, but I think the toll on his body, you know, 60 years old.
Yeah.
Like, what were you? I can't even get out my, because they're like, okay, you're 60 years old wrestling and at GCW. At a GCW event, and like GCW leadership, you know, they said they was embarrassed by the interview and was let me see, has since spoken to Janela about the matter. But my thing is GCW, if you put on the show for Janela or the show was incorporated with a GCW branding, where was your medical team? Why nobody tested him? Why nobody probably prevented him from going out there if he wasn't well, if you knew he was high, if he was high, I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, it's just weird that some of these promotions don't care about talent enough to do proper drug testing to make sure they're able to perform. That man probably was high as hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, going out there performing at those at that event, and then weeks later, his body gave out from the drugs. Now, I'm not saying that what he did at the event killed him. Maybe he did something in the hotel. I don't know, but I'm just saying, you know, I wouldn't have him wrestle. I wouldn't have had him wrestle like that.
Yeah. I see your point. To your point, right? So Sabu was 60 something, 60, right? So if you think about it, we had guys. Our favorite wrestlers now are getting older. They're in their 50s or in their 60s. Rock, Austin, Undertaker, all them guys are getting older. But you notice all them guys are not wrestling in the ring anymore. Undertaker had to walk away from the ring. Shawn Michaels is not walking the ring. Triple H is doing other things. The Rock is doing other things. Stone Cold, all of them. Now Cena's stepping away. Right. When you realize how your body is also an investment, also you need to step away. You know what I'm saying? Right. I would hate to see our favorite wrestlers still be wrestling at 60 and 70 years old and not taking care of themselves, because it's part of going hardcore for 40 years plus. It does a lot on your body. Also, it does a lot on your mental health also. And that's the unfortunate thing. And so when you don't take care of your mental health, you don't take care of your money. Okay, so I'm not saying he's broke, anything like that. You tend to go for the lower budget, and you go for the lower budget with those companies. They don't take care of you like they should. So instead of going with WWE, AEW, or whatever the case may be, you're going with the lower companies who not going to look out for their talent, not going to look out for their wrestlers, not going to look out for their well-being. My hope is this is a lesson for other wrestlers to take care of themselves. Even if you're 20s and 30s, take care of yourself. Like, please, like, it's so unfortunate that had to happen to him. You know what I'm saying? And that sucks. And for that tweet to come out, it came off like hell of aggressive, like you trying to defend yourself. I don't know what happened, you know what I'm saying, but it just makes you think about you hoping these guys take care of themselves, because some people don't have your best interest at heart. They don't. They just see your name attached to the venue. They want to pay you for the venue and just sing about your way. They don't care about your health. So please take care of yourself, man.
Right.
Please.
I don't even know what the financial situation that Sabu was in. But it just come to show you, man. You put all that time in,
man,
over the years, and it tells you young talent out there probably save up your money, do what you got to do, but don't I don't know the situation he was in, and like I said, rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
We don't know the situation of how he passed. Like, was it caused from the injuries from this match? Maybe was it the drugs that he was on?
They never said. I don't think so.
They never even came out with a full toxicology report. But I'm not blaming. I don't know. I'm not blaming Joey Janela on this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was like, blaming him because he was on. His name was attached to the spring break event by GCW.
Yeah.
What I am blaming though, I'm blaming GCW, the officials back there. I'm not saying I'm blaming them, but I'm kind of criticizing him because y'all should have did some testing on this, making sure he was okay to even wrestle,
Right. Yeah. Right.
You just don't know, man. I'm just gonna leave it like that.
That was my point too. Just the wrestlers as an eye-opening thing. Take care of yourself.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Just take care of yourself, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, tomorrow night, man, we're gonna do I forgot what it is. We're gonna do AEW Dynamite. Well, I don't know. Are you gonna do AEW Dynamite tomorrow?
Yeah, it's still Wednesday in the month of May. Got the program going on. So
okay, so I'll be I'll be taking care of it tomorrow night.
Yeah. So
we had a
after that, I'm back on. So gotcha.
We had a rare showing from Coop tonight on the Tuesday. Man, clap it up for him.
The part-timer is back.
Man, like I said, it was good to have you on tonight, buddy, man, because
man,
sometimes Tuesdays be brutal, man. But it's good.
I know,
to have
bro.
I can bounce off of Paul's. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah.
But just to bounce off and talk to you. Man. Sometimes doing it by yourself, man, you just be like,
yeah, I can imagine because that one day I did, I was like,
yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I get through it though, man. I get through it.
Yeah, definitely. So Friday, definitely. Definitely.
Definitely Friday. Yeah. And shoot, is it Saturday night's main event this week?
No, next week.
Next week. Me and my wife got it before we even go. Me and my wife got into it a little bit because she has them all down because her birthday is around when all this is happening. I'm just so confused and stuff and tired because we had all these back-to-back in May. Saturday night main event. We just came off WrestleMania. We just came off Backlash. Now we're about to do a Saturday night's main event. We got AEW got a pay-per-view coming up. I'm like, damn, Battlegrounds coming up.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I can't keep all these dates in my head, yo.
Y'all don't care about the working man. I see it. Y'all don't care about the family, man. You sacrificing time, yo, to sacrifice Saturdays, yo. Like, ugh.
Saturday's rough, man. But I'm gonna put it out there for you guys, man.
You're saying we'll make it work, yo. We'll make it work. Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is Derrick, man. That's Coop. And look, guess what, man? We out of here, yo.
All right. Peace.
Let me get to it.